In case you missed it, the news reported that prosecutors may have just destroyed any chance YNW Melly had of being released from his case. They are now pushing hard to force Bortlen to testify against him. Prosecutors have officially submitted paperwork requesting that Melly and Bortlen be tried together in the next trial, and they're doing it for one very specific reason.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. They're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's common sense. If Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious crime, he won't be able to sit quietly and take a life sentence without speaking up. That makes it highly likely he'll end up pointing the finger at Melly. Prosecutors are planning to use a past interrogation interview between Bortlen and the police as a key piece of evidence in their strategy.
Okay, tell me what happened. And I was playing the beat, I was playing music, getting off the base. I was already being sleepy, almost home. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car. And I almost cut.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from? Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
To Austin. 595
to 75. Then you took 75 south?
It's clear to the officers that Bortlen's story isn't adding up. He's trying to stay confident and make his version of events sound believable, but in the end, he ends up getting caught in a lie.
Here's the hard part. What we're having a hard time to understand is that we shut down that entire area, and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And
it's hard. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the price.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
These are your two, I'm assuming, close friends.
No.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't, what do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
However, the interrogation quickly goes south as Bortlen begins to get angry when the officers don't fully believe his story about the crime.
Story, and that's it. I don't even talk about it. I told y'all. I don't know.
Okay. Just so you know, right? Because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. There's, and we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
It's common during interrogations that when a suspect begins to shut down and refuse to talk, it becomes the officer's job to reset the playing field. The goal is to keep asking questions in hopes that the suspect either slips up by changing key details in their story or accidentally reveals too much information. In Bortlen's case, the officer resets the conversation by circling back and asking more about the drive-by, how Bortlen was driving, whether he crashed into anything, and other critical details.
Let's talk about why. Are you having issues with anyone?
I mean, we are upcoming artists and stuff, so people when you start doing better than people, they start hating and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you had some jealousy issues.
Yes, jealousy issues. But I haven't really been on that. But he my friend that's waiting on campus, he was telling me like, right, he always telling me how people, just like today, he was telling me some folks from up our way.
Which stuff your way?
Like, girl beach, like, that's why I used to stay, you know what I'm saying? So, I grew up, that's our hometown. You know?
So, what did your friend say about Vero Beach? What did he say?
He was saying basically just like, they were all like Instagram, just through Facebook.
With time running out during the allotted interrogation period, the officer decided to be direct. He looked at Bortlen and asked, "If you knew who did this, would you tell me?"
Like just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear. But I respect the truth rather than BS. Okay, and it's a simple question: if you knew who did this, okay, you may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
Bortlen didn't give a firm yes or no when asked by the officer. Instead, he simply shook his head. If Melly was truly the one who committed the crime, Bortlen likely knew that verbally saying no could cause his voice to crack or shift in pitch, revealing signs of dishonesty. This subtle gesture was a clear indicator to the police that Bortlen knew more than he was admitting. As a result, Melly was denied bond. However, the situation became even worse. On May 12th, a judge ruled that the Florida rapper must remain behind bars until the retrial begins in September. Melly has already spent 6 years incarcerated while fighting the case in which he's accused of murdering 2 former friends, Juvie and Sack Chaser. Melly and his family were confident he would be released, especially after one of the 6 charges was granted bond. This hope was echoed by his mother, who shared her reaction following the court's partial decision.
We just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
It was announced that Melly was granted bond on 1 out of 6 charges. He has been locked up for over 2,200 days without bond, even after a previous mistrial. Everything seemed to be pointing toward his release from jail until prosecutors took a disturbing turn. They allegedly struck deals with Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, and his best friend, Bortlen. Mariah had been hiding outside of the United States during Melly's original trial. She was supposed to testify against him but never showed up, resulting in a warrant being issued for her arrest.
Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
After spending some time in lockup, Mariah was released after signing a deal agreeing to testify against Melly. However, this turned out to be devastating news for Melly. Mariah even posted on Facebook saying, "And to my village, I love y'all. So much God's plan, not mine." Authorities reportedly found disturbing evidence in Mariah's iCloud account linking Melly to efforts to stop her from testifying, an act considered witness tampering. Under the law, witness tampering carries a potential life sentence, regardless of whether Melly was involved in the murders of Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing six new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
However, The witness tampering case is separate from the case involving the deaths of Juvie and Sackchaser. Due to his alleged witness tampering through jail phone calls, Melly has been banned from using the phone for several months. His mother even addressed the situation in an interview, revealing that he's not even allowed to see his mail anymore.
Has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if it's true that Melly has been tampering with witnesses over the phone, that explains why his phone access has been restricted. It's unlikely the jail would keep him off the phones without solid proof, as doing so otherwise could lead to a major lawsuit. What's worse is that they're planning to use Bortlen to snitch on Melly in the retrial, especially since Melly's lawyers already tried to throw Bortlen under the bus during the original trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in the pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As it has always been, Bortlen is the one who lied to the feds. He was found with firearm powder on his hands, proving he was present when the crime happened. Juvie and Sackchaser were last seen with Bortlen, and a forensic scientist who investigated. The deaths even spoke about the powder found on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of pot residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of pot residue and 1 two-component particle. Okay.
And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was pot residue present on the hands.
Bortlen didn't take this lightly. When Melly's mistrial was announced, he tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me," accompanied by a handshake emoji, as if signaling he was ready to make a deal. Meanwhile, Melly's lawyers are appealing the judge's denial of bond and preparing a new proposal for court. According to the legal team, they have offered to post an unspecified bond through Melly's record label, 300 Entertainment. If granted, Melly would be placed under house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire security to monitor him. The news sparked excitement among fans, with one rapper tweeting, "That boy Melly coming home, I feel it." For Melly's mother, this is a huge development, as she has recently been breaking down, expressing how helpless she feels, watching her son be treated like less than a human behind bars.
You saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They would then present evidence from the original trial that proves Melly did not commit the crime in the Jeep. GPS data shows he was sprinting down a street and hiding behind a bush around the time the crime occurred.
He's part he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, "There's a car coming behind him, and I'm hiding." He was like, "There's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something." So I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm okay." I said, "Well, where are Sack and Juvie?" And he said, "I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're..."
To support the theory that a drive-by was the cause, Melly's lawyers revealed to the new judge that no firearm was ever found. They claim the guilty party committed the drive-by and then fled the scene with the weapon.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what to use.
Okay.
However, the prosecutors are doing everything they can to keep Melly in jail, already presenting phone evidence that suggests Melly may have admitted to the crime.